Daily Graphic this morning says averting food shortages in schools, Education Ministry streamlined supply chain. A jury committee recommends compensation for families and domestic tourism way to sustain industry, according to the Ghana Tourism Authority. Sex for Freedom, policeman remanded, and there's 30 days more to go for you to go and get your scheme fully registered. The Daily Guide, it says, I bought silicone belly for 30 Ghana cedis, says Azata, the woman. A Jura victim's family to get compensation, and Bank of Ghana stops 1 Ghana, 2 Ghana cedi notes. They will replace that with coins, we are told. 2 daylight robbers killed by the police. They were in a shootout with the police, and they got what they deserved. Amasia South Assembly confirms DCE. Also, Ghana experiencing sustained economic recovery, according to the Bank of Ghana, as a new crusading guide. Tardy pregnant woman granted 50,000 Ghana cedis bail, and investigate STX, Hope City, and SADA projects. Razak Kojo Poku to multimedia. He works at the NLA and the Samia Oku, by the way. Government to revive investments in economy with upcoming expo in Dubai. The Daily Statesman, Bank of Ghana maintains policy rate at 13.5%. Carcass death not linked to activism. A Jura committee report is revealed. Media, NDC and the fire over Tardy fake kidnap saga. Ghana targets revived investment for economic recovery. The BNFT, mentoring and empowering virtuous cycle. That's an article I think you should read. Also, there's a feature as retirement impends. What should you do? What to know before you hit retirement age? The currency issues. Bank of Ghana to phase out 1 cedi, 2 cedi notes, according to Philip Addison, and to reduce cost of printing as well, because they get damaged quickly because they're widely circulated as well. SNIT saves 16.24 million Ghana cedis. 22,920 ghost names have been deleted. Use electronic payments channel to prevent robbery attacks. Gibbs is advising. Inflation, fiscal debt pressures, key policy rate static again. That's on the front page of the BNFT. The Ghanaian Times, police deploy more personnel in Accra Tema to combat crime. 4 assemblies give unanimous approval to MMDC nominees. 2 armed robbers shot dead. It's a war against criminals, the police says. And on the Jura Committee report, 2 bereaved families to be compensated. 3 other injured persons to also benefit. There's 33 days more to get your Ghana card ready. The Finder newspaper, government considering buying a bigger jet to save costs, according to Eugene Ayin, is the director of communications and the presidency. Over $300 million US of $1 billion IMF money to fund 2021 budget execution, according to the Bank of Ghana. Tourism to unlock economic potentials and help reduce high incidence of poverty. Okriku Mantesa, Deputy Minister in that sector. Ghana to capitalize on investor benefits from Dubai Expo 2020 and visit Volta is a fantastic initiative. Upon Kruma says so. Dr. Lecha, good morning to you and for all the fine work that you're doing there. Well, maybe finally, the Chronicle newspaper, Ghana to use Dubai Expo 2020 to woo investors, and Dami secures foreign scholarship for lawyers, judges, remembering Kofi Abrefa Buzia, the professor, and Ghana to acquire bigger presidential jet. Jubilee House has revealed drama as assassination suspect fails to appear in court, and 5 lawyers defend suspected Takrady prankster. What's there? There's a biblical verse there, Proverbs chapter 1, 18, verse 17. It says, the one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him. And then you'll find that, well, you may not entirely be correct. The ABC News is the final one, I'm told. Government delivering on Sino-Hydro deal. Okay. And Takrady woman pleads not guilty in court for fake pregnancy and kidnapping. And media onslaught of government is worrying. That's the editorial. The ABC is going there. Gushegu confirms MC. Yendi rejects nominee. And the Gushegu MCE speech yesterday was fantastic, I should say. Alassane Suhini is a member of parliament for Tamale North constituency. He joins me in studio on the ticket of the NDC. And Kofi Ameya joins me on the ticket of the NPP as well as a member of the national communications team. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome. How are you doing?
Good morning, Johnny.
Great. Let me quickly do a stream of happy birthdays, and then we will get into the conversations here on TV3NewDay. Remember, you can send us your thoughts and comments. Our WhatsApp line is always active. Tweet at Hughes_on-air. Tweet at me and share the messages with the rest of the wonderful world. Happy birthday to Victoria Kuteka Nikwe. Wish you God's strength and support as you become an inspiration to others. This is from Michael Marty here, TV3 Media Channel. Also, happy birthday to Naneke Oforiwa, CEO of Liteville Decor and Event Center. Greater heights to you is what we pray. This from Larry Amable here at TV3. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. Know that you're loved and cherished, and we will continue to pray for you so that all your heart desires will become a reality. Let's begin from the Ashanti region, where yesterday the minority side on the health committee in Parliament had gone to one of the facilities that we had shown you, that our sister station on Nia TV has shown you, about some 500-bed capacity hospital that has been left in the middle of nowhere. Yesterday, quite unfortunately, there's a near brawl with the members of Parliament and the guards who had been placed there, according to them, by the military. Take a look at this. When we return, we'll have that conversation.
Seeing here is an affront to the mandate the good people of this country has given to the president of Ghana. I think that this government is a group of old men who have no respect for the stakeholders in the governance of this country, and they have no respect for the good people of this country. If for nothing at all, we were here 2 years or more than 2 years ago. If the president respects the parliament of this country, at least they would have responded positively. We are paying interest on the loan that was contracted for this purpose. Meanwhile, the good people of this country, especially those in the catchment area, have not benefited from this project. You remember, this project was awarded somewhere in 2015, and they should have completed latest by 2017. We are in 2021, and we are in the weeds. This is what we have seen for ourselves. And when you talk, they will sit in Accra and try to defend. I believe if most of you had not been here, you would have taken what I'm saying differently.
So that's it. Let me start with you, Ameya. You are on Agenda 111. That's big. Huge. Why are you not completing these other hospitals so that they can at least augment your efforts and make your dreams stronger and better?
We completed, good morning to you and to your viewers, and good morning to Honorable. It's been a while. We've been completing hospitals started by the NDC administration. That includes the University of Ghana Medical Center, which has become very useful, especially in the era of the pandemic. We've also completed the Bank of Ghana Hospital. It has become useful. We've also completed the Ghana East Hospital and other and several polytechnics that were started by the NDC. So it's not the case that we have abandoned some projects, especially hospitals, and embarked on another agenda, which is Agenda 111. That's really not the case. I think the case we are about to discuss, which has to do with the Afari Hospital. You see, when both politicians are talking about it, they forget the legal tussle that is involved, and that has stalled this particular hospital.
There's a legal tussle on this one.
I have a former classmate. We call him America. He was the assistant school prefect. He's a lawyer for one of the people involved in the legal tussle. So I'm fully aware. I just opened my Pescobar, WhatsApp page, and we've been discussing this issue. And he's been, why are you people doing this? Because there's a legal issue involved in this. And anytime I see the conversations, I see the videos, I don't hear the legal component of it. And we are all well aware of the legal situation, our judicial system, how sometimes it can be very slow and how sometimes it can affect some of these projects. But I want to sit here and commit that this particular government, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is committed to completing every project that was started by any other administration apart from me. And we made this very clear, even in our 2016 manifesto, chapter 6, page 73. We called something National Asset Protection Project. And we stated that it is a national scandal that successful government have failed or unduly delayed in continuing and executing projects started by previous government. And we have decided that we won't do that. And if you look at the records, this particular administration has done marvelously well when it comes to making sure projects that were started by the NDC have been completed. A lot of them.
What's the nature of this legal tussle? Like, enlighten me. And why is it lingering?
Like you know, it's in the court, so I don't think I'll be able to comment on it.
No, I'm just asking you to enlighten me. Who's taking who to court for what over
I think
the
project managers, those who are involved in making sure, as against Iroject, there are some money issues. Their work has not been paid yet, and they are going back and forth here and there. That's how much.
But I thought this one was funded by the UK government. Some 173.
As far as I know, I've stated here, as far as I know, there's a legal tussle involved in this particular project, and that has contributed a lot to.
You have not supported me with the kind of enlightenment that I want. Kofi has taken Suhuyini to court over this bottle of water.
I'll give you the fact.
Because this bottle of water costs one.
We have about 40 minutes on this show.
I know. So you get information from me. Great.
I'll get it for you. But I want to state here that when it comes to government who have made it a point that they will complete projects started by previous administration, I think credit must be given to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because there are a lot of projects I can point to, even including the e-blocks. We utilized those ones that were started by the Mahama administration. So clearly, I am of the opinion that we will ensure that every project, of course, is for the good people of this country. It must be completed and utilized by the same people.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Maybe you take a look at this one, the near brawl between the military there, the guards there, and the minority side on the health committee, and then I'll come to Suhuyini on that. Please, if it's ready, let's see it.
The Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, we are at Afari Hospital to see for ourselves where we have got into. And it is a shame to us as a country to have this edifice, to have this health village rot without using it. The taxpayers' money has been used to build this. We are all gallivanting around without paying attention to this. The Health Committee, as a matter of urgency, is calling on the President of the Republic of Ghana to fix this hospital and put it to use. It's almost done. What are we waiting for? I don't think that if this was to be the private property of any politician in this country, the politician will allow it to rot. And I think that if we let this stand here anymore, somebody will have to answer to the people of Ghana.
You own a hospital, yes, and you're a doctor as well. You are saying from an expert point of view that the only time that you can find the oxygen cylinders and then the generator here is when there's going to be the delivery or the kick-starting of the health service itself. Is that the point you're making?
Exactly. Because looking around, I mean, some of the structures, they are ready to take in the cylinders. What is lacking now, or what is not on the ground now, is the human resource. That is the doctors, the nurses, the paramedical staff, the allied health scientists, etc. If it was a hospital belonging to an individual, please, you will not come and meet a private hospital with that building standing there. No, you cannot. It cannot. They should have started by now.
They are with me. I want to explain things to you because I have already gone to the police. Put your camera down. I know there is no whatever we are doing here, whatever you want to we're not doing this. Let them have the person that is so sick. So talk to me. Let them he's a policeman. If I cannot, they are with me. I want to explain things to you because I have already gone to the police.
COphobia, that there could be a visit from this place, maybe from the presidency, from the parliament or whatever it is. Then they also inform us so that your coming will not be like maybe all of a sudden people came in without knowing their source. Because as at now, we have to call commander and tell commander that this is the situation on ground. And when it happens that way, you also have to call GOC. GOC also intend calling CDS that this is the situation. You see, and recently, I don't know, you heard it, Parliament, Captain Smart came in, there's a whole lot of then they also inform us. So it's because of that, so that you're coming, that's what I'm saying, that maybe they should put it back. That people are saying they are coming from, people came in without ministries, not Parliament now. You get it, call commander and talk that they are coming for inspection on ground. And when it happens that way, has to call the if the people come, GOC also intend calling. We shouldn't give them the chance to enter until we see recently clearance from the general officer commanding. Smart came in, there's a whole lot of things. So it's because of that that we are trying to prevent some of this. That's what I'm saying that people are saying they are coming from ministry, that's parliament. You get it? No. Hey, that they are coming for relax. And relax. I don't want to call here. If the people come, we shouldn't give them the chance to enter until we see clearance from the general officer commanding. You get it? Hey, relax. I don't want any.
Kamala Kluche's reports. Suni, this is the situation. Amel says there's a legal tussle hanging over the project. You know it, but your side in Parliament is just being difficult. Is that the case?
Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, Amir, and good morning to our viewers, especially the very good people of the Tamale North constituency. Legal tussle or not, it does not stop the completion of the project. I'm unaware of the legal tussle that he refers to, but what I do know is that it is not every legal tussle that stalls the progress of a project. You know, there are many projects that have been completed and are in use that have aspects of its contractual arrangements in court. It does not in any way stop the government from completing the project. And I also heard him talk about the number of projects that they have completed,
right.
You know, after inheriting same from the NDC. And I was just wondering, what exactly did they do at the GA East after they took over? What exactly did they do at the UGMC beyond being forced to open it? After they, you know, blatantly and boldly lied about the non-existence of a generator that, you know, many of you again in the media exposed. I mean, we know the phase 2 of UGMC should have been done by now. Phase 2 of Ridge should have been done by now. I think the only thing they did at Ridge was to replace the plaque, you know, and then, you know, unveil a new plaque. So when he talks about the Maritime Hospital, really, what have they done? You know, just where they could have shared the credit, they don't want to finish it and share the credit. The already finished one, they want to, you know, rather take the credit. Bank of Ghana Hospital, really, apart from maybe getting it functional, what was left for you to have done? Let's be very sincere. And this whole talk about a legal tussle is a new one.
It's new to you?
Yes, to everybody. And that is how these people are. You see, Johnny, it's difficult, you know, dealing with people who are not straightforward. When your sister station, the Onua TV, did the program.
In fact, we did it in
Yeah, you did it.
2018, 2019,
Yes,
and then they
yes.
did it,
Yes, they did it
some
recently.
few months ago.
Yes, just recently.
So we spoke about Kumau.
I was referring to the recent one.
Fomena as well.
The Deputy Minister for Health actually issued a statement, sort of. I think he posted something. Nowhere in his explanations did he say that it has not been done yet and put to use because of any legal tussle. Nowhere.
But Amayal says he will give us information.
Nowhere,
before we
nowhere.
close
In fact,
the show.
in his write-up, he makes spurious allegations of how the project was supposed to have been taken to Tamale and later brought back and delayed, all kinds of, because it was complete lies. So that's why I say it's difficult to deal with people who are not
But
straightforward.
I'm saying that Amayal says
And-
he will get us information before the show closes. So
let him do that.
let's wait.
But then again, I feel very sad
Why?
that you have a government that major in minor and minor in majors. Complete a hospital to save lives. You find that less important compared to putting security men like soldiers, at the site and paying them, because I'm sure they are not guarding it for free.
It's a military hospital,
so that they can, yes, I'm saying that, so you put them there. You think that it is better to leave it as it is and put a military guard there, and I'm saying this because when this was playing out, what came to my mind was how again they spent $10 million on an audit of cocoa roads when they could have used that $10 million to finish, roads that were at 90% complete, 95% complete. And for 4 years, they spent $10 million to do an audit, and really, the roads have rather deteriorated. So it is the same way you put military men to be in charge of a project you should have completed long ago to put to use, and they watch the deterioration. I mean, what benefit do you get from that? And remember, this Parliamentary Select Committee visited that site about 2 years ago and highlighted the problem. The problem has gotten worse because 2 years from now, the equipments that have been left to the vagaries of the weather are going to get more, they are going to deteriorate.
But you're in Parliament with the Health Minister. Call him before you and ask him questions.
Oh, many times we have. In fact, after the Parliamentary Select Committee visited the site, they made a statement on the floor. It is just a government that will not, they are not moved by anything. They are not moved by anything. Otherwise, your president won't be flying and buffing in the air despite the noise that you make. He does it again and again. I mean, it is just a government that is insensitive and just, doesn't seem to care about how the
do we
average
get this
Ghanaian
activated?
feels.
Because that's my big problem. That, look, we need to activate it and use it. We built it for the people. How do we do it?
You see, first of all, I must commend you guys in the media for revisiting some of these issues. I remember when the government launched the agenda, 111, one of the very remarkable stories you did was to go back and look at all these projects that are at various levels of completion. That could have, reduced the pressure that we have on already existing health facilities. And I think it was a very good job you did. If you had a government that was sensitive and that listened to the cry and plight of the average Ghanaian, I don't think we should have been where we are. But the fact that they are intransigent, the fact that they are not sensitive to our cry, does not mean that we should throw our hands in the air. I think we must keep persisting. We must keep highlighting these things, hoping that their conscience will be pricked at some point in time so that they can focus on these things. Nobody is against the construction of more health facilities, because indeed the deficit is that huge. But let us not reduce it to another rhetoric, another slogan, just because we think that is how to win votes, especially when we have these other projects in the pipeline that, if finished, can contribute further to the improvement of healthcare.
Mayor, how do we get this up and running? There's one also at Fomena a couple of them, about 7 of them that we highlighted. How do we get them running so that people can benefit from it?
Johnny, it's also important to recognize that when you so-called complete a project and you don't put it to use, what's the point in building the particular project in the first
That's
instance?
the question I'm asking.
Yes. So when Suhini says, Honorable Suhini says that, oh, in the case of the University of Ghana Medical Center, what did you actually do? What did you really do? Building it and leaving it there? What did you do, Bank of Ghana, building it and leaving it there? We came to fully utilize it, put good use to it, to the benefit of all.
I said,
And then-
except being forced to open it.
Nobody was forced. Nobody was forced.
The Bank of Ghana facility.
Nobody
Not
was
even
forced.
I
You
mean,
see,
UGMC.
when we talk
The,
of projects,
the UGMC
when you talk
facility.
of projects, Johnny, please, when you talk of projects, okay,
Nobody
all right,
forced them, nobody forced them.
and we need to recognize that it is not the case, and it has happened in many governments. It is not the case that, for example, a particular project is started, another government comes and they start another project. You all know the financial arrangement that comes with these projects. You cannot just devote another money into another particular project just for the sake of it. There are some laws, there are some agreements that are binding to it. So let's be able to divorce these things when we are making the argument. Let's be able to disassociate some of these important elements when it comes to constructing and finishing some of these projects.
But
that
up until
notwithstanding-
now, you have not given me what the legal tussle looks like, because I know that it was part of the
according to
gang
the
of 7
lawyer,
hospitals,
which I was just
$173 million.
according to the lawyer Boache, who is a former student of St. Peter's, the best
Okay.
secondary school in Ghana, by the way.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
that's your claim.
So he says the workers there, they've been working for several years, and Eurojets have not been paying them. Okay, and they will go to court, reach an agreement, and then the Eurojet people will renege on their promise, and then they will stop the work again. So that has been the tussle that is going on. I've given you the name of the lawyer. I've stated here that there's a legal tussle to it. I mean, you are a very renowned journalist, and you
don't
have a very
patronize me.
powerful.
Don't patronize
You have a very powerful media
patronize
general. You can do your check. So let's move on and let me make.
So can I ask one question after you've supplied this information?
Yes.
It's only fair. I thought that contractors work and then they raise certificates and then they are paid.
Johnny,
so
the discussion we are having here today is the fact that government must be able to finish projects that have been started by previous administrations, or must ensure that projects that have been started should be finished so that people can utilize it. And I am saying that the way forward is that, yes, when it comes to a government that is committed to
No, you
making
have
sure,
not
and at
answered
the
my
end of the
question.
day,
You're repeating for me what you have said
that
already. I'm
commitment
sorry.
has found
I'm
an
sorry, I'm
expression
sorry.
in its manifesto.
I'm sorry. You are not answering my question. You are repeating for me what you have said
Probably
already.
I'm answering it in a manner that you don't like.
So I'm saying to you that you are mentioning that the workers say they have been at work but have not been paid. And each time they are promised by the Eurojet folks, they renege on their promise. Is that correct?
That's the information
Which is
I
why
have.
that's what the lawyer is saying. And I'm saying that per the little knowledge I have of project management, the contractors will raise certificates and then the monies will be paid. Is that not so? Per the
That's so.
arrangement. Beautiful. Now, what's the duty of the laborers and all the other workers when government is not dealing directly with them, but is dealing with the contractor? So is it the contractor making this claim?
But you
Is it the
understand,
contractor making this
you
claim?
understand not all projects are captured in the way that you are describing it. Okay, sometimes funds are being given, for example, the N1 project. The funds from the Millennium Development Account or Challenge Account. The money was there for government to use, but the money was not given to the government. It was given to the Millennium Challenge Account. So sometimes not all projects. So again, the point needs to be made. I understand that there's a legal tussle. And of course, probably there are some times that there will be legal issues here and there, but project can still go ahead. But I am making a commitment to you here, and I've provided you with evidence that when it comes to a government that ensures that projects are finished, projects that have been started by previous administration have been finished and put to use, then it's this particular government and this particular administration. Do you understand? So for me, it's sad when we have members of parliament, especially when Honorable Sweeney keeps mentioning the fact that the equipment has been left to rot and all of that, yet the Ministry of Defense has come to rebut that particular claim.
But we saw the cylinders at the mercy of the weather.
They have provided explanation, and it's right here.
But we saw the cylinders at the mercy of the weather. Did you not see it? Maybe play that one again. Show us the cylinders on TV.
We have seen it several times, but they have provided explanation to it. That is no more the situation. Do you get it? So I don't know why we want to go back and forth. At the end of the day,
I want the hospital opened. That's my problem.
It will be open.
When?
Just like we opened Bank of Ghana. It was sitting there. I used to go there, and the big, beautiful building will be sitting there. When we came to power, we put it to good use.
Okay.
UGMC was there. But if you people said you completed it, why were you not utilizing it? Why were people not working there? Why were patients not going to the hospitals? If you said you completed it. Do you get it? So clearly, it's obvious our members of parliament from the other side don't have much to do.
Okay.
That is why even when information has been provided, they still go ahead and want to go there and create this, image that, okay, yet the government cannot be trusted, just like, of course, Honorable said here.
I hear you.
Honorable, I'm not on your case, but
Thank
the
you.
truth of the matter is that, and the evidence supports...
No, in fact, I'm enjoying you.
Thank you.
The evidence
I don't
supports
want
that-
to interrupt you.
Oh, thank you. The evidence supports that. His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when he promises, he delivers.
You have said that enough. It's okay.
Yes,
We are
I want
fine.
to
Grateful.
emphasize on that.
Thank you very much. Your thoughts and comments. For those of you who live in Afari, in Fomina, and all of that, let's know what your thoughts are also about these ones. So, yesterday, after the long wait, the Ejura Committee report finally came. Have you had a chance to read it?
No.
You have not had a chance to read it?
I've not had a chance to look at it.
So essentially, it's talking about compensation first for the families that are involved. It also will talk about the fact that the police station as a giraffe, for example, is too small to befit that municipality status, and so it should be looked at again. They said some of the officers were incompetent in the way manner they handled the situation, crowd control. They didn't have the requisite equipment to manage the crowds. The committee is also proposing that forthwith, all officers deployed to do crowd control should have body cams, something that we've heard over and over again. And then they talk about the fact that the MC should go, the DSP in charge of the Ejura police station should be transferred as well. They recommend training, particularly within the security space for MMDCs, especially the Kofi Annan, Ghana Office Command and Staff College. So in a nutshell, this is what it says. But at the heart of it is compensation for the two families.
And the fact that the killing was not linked to his...
Well, that's what they say, that the killing was not linked to his activities on social media, but it could be the result of a family feud. My first question is, how much money is enough to compensate the families of these bereaved ones, these deceased ones?
Funny, I feel very sad about what you have summarized as contents of the report. I will make time to look at it later on. So it happens in Asawasi and we go and compensate. It happens in Ablekuma, we go and compensate. Human lives are not for sale. Human lives are not for sale. And you asked a very appropriate question. No amount of money, my answer to it is that no amount of money is ever enough for the life of one person, especially a breadwinner like Kaka. The fatherly, love and upbringing that he would have provided for his children, no amount of money can replace that. I am also saddened that the committee seem to have continued to push their claim or the agenda I saw clearly set from the sitting that Kaka was not killed as a result of his activism. There has been a desperate, move by people in government to distance his activism from his death. And that for me only makes me wonder why that desperation.
Well, but his wife insists that his husband was getting threats
Yes.
because of his activism,
Yes.
even from within the MPP of which he's a member.
People in the New Patriotic Party don't want to believe their wife. They don't want to believe their daughter, because I saw the daughter when the vice president went there, and the daughter crying on the vice president's laps and telling the vice president that the uncle couldn't be responsible and that they should release the uncle. No, they don't want to believe that one. All they want to believe is the neighbor's story. As for what the neighbor says is gospel. Or maybe the community, some community members say is gospel. But the wife who used to live with Kaka, who knew those who threatened Kaka, that story is downplayed. The daughter's story downplayed. What is the aim? What is the reason? Is it really a commitment to find the truth? Or just so that, it is not said that an activist was killed for activism? Well, Ahmed Swale was killed. Ahmed Swale was killed after he was threatened and exposed by a member of the New Patriotic Party. So it is not just going to be, it is what it is. You can distance, you can do all the PR you like about this. Any reasonable, sane human being knows that whatever happened to Kaka was linked to his activism.
The committee disagrees with you.
That's why I said any reasonable person.
I also disagree with
So that desperation by this government to distance his activism from his fate, the fate that befell him, just makes me curious. In fact, it makes me feel that there is more to it.
Like what?
That maybe it was a grand scheme even from bigger places than the local level. Because if they are not interested in finding those people at the local level who may have been overzealous in their love for their party, then maybe it was grander than just the local level.
That's a very...
Yes, I mean, no, you see...
a very serious thing you're saying.
No, you see, in serious democracies, Johnny, in serious democracies, a government will want to establish cause of death and, I mean, what led to his murder, and distance itself, even if it is an associate at the local level. But when you see all the signs on the wall that this murder was linked to his activism, and then you find what looks like a grand scheme to just cover it up, accusing media people unnecessarily and trying to make hold the media people responsible for reporting the reaction. In fact, their report did not start the reaction. They reported the reaction, and now they are responsible for the chaos.
In fact, interestingly...
Seriously, I just can't wrap my head around it, John.
The committee used the media's footages
Yes.
in its work
to
come to a conclusion.
To come to a conclusion that the media was responsible for the chaos. I mean, meanwhile, they were not able to showcase any report before. That may have suggested that the people should hit the streets. It is simply, a desperation. And that is the part I'm disappointed.
I hear you.
A desperation to cover up. When one expects that they will rather be trying to, find out those people at that local level who may have been overzealous in protecting the image of their government and may have, carried out this dastardly act. No, it's as if let's just cover up. Anybody in that community, anybody who followed Kaka's activities knows that there is no way that the fate that befell him can be said not to be linked to his activism.
Amaya, let me bring you in now. So this is a summary of evidence of the witnesses. Simon Osei-Mensah is the Ashanti Regional Minister. He made the call by his own testimony to get the military into the place because at the time, Salisu Bamba, who was the MCE and the president's direct representative, had fled. he had gone to safety with his family and left the people that he was asked to go and take care of. Now, Mr. Simon Semensa says that somebody called him to give him information of what was happening, which then gave him reason to make the phone call to the 4BN to send the men there. But he didn't say who, even before the committee. Strange?
Not really strange. It's a security matter, and sometimes they don't really disclose these things. But let me start this conversation by sending my deepest condolences and sympathies to the family of Abdul Nasir Yusuf, Mutala Suraj Mohammed, and Kaka, to their family. Please accept my deepest condolences. I'm really sorry for your loss. It was a very needless one. I've lost loved ones before, and I know how it feels. And I can't imagine my loved ones dying in the manner in which Kaka died, and the two others as well. It must hurt. I wouldn't sit here and do what Honorable has just done. I don't think it's fair.
What did he do?
Speaking on issues without facts. He has spoke at length, passionately, without facts. Sensationalism, emotionalism, if I can use that word, ripping up sentiment, which for me, especially in this region, the West African region, around this time, if you should listen to the report of the UN Department of Political Operations and peace building operations, we wouldn't be making such statements, especially when we do not have the facts.
Which of the statements are you referring to?
Insinuating that he was killed because of his political activism on social media, when you do not have the facts.
He's asking a question.
No, he's not.
Said,
no, he's Johnny. Please,
you're choosing
Johnny,
to believe.
I'm
coming. Hold on, because he spoke with me, so I just want to set the record straight. Now, if I heard him right, he said the committee has chosen not to believe the man's wife.
Why would you say that?
Who he lived with, whose wife insists that her husband was receiving threats for his activism. The daughter of the man who is dead, who says that his uncle who was placed in custody couldn't have been responsible for his father's death. He says you leave the two who are closest to the person and rather choose to believe the neighbor.
Johnny, I was trying as much as possible not to go into these things. You know why?
No, tell me.
Because family is family. We will do anything and everything to protect our family. But when you look at the evidence, it does not support what they are saying. The evidence supports otherwise. Somebody said, I saw the person doing it. And then I came to knock on the door of the wife and prompted you. So obviously the wife didn't see the person who did it. It was the neighbor who saw it. So if the neighbor says, okay, I saw this person doing it, you were in the room, so obviously you didn't see the person who attacked your husband. You only saw your husband lying there unconscious. So you didn't see who attacked him. But somebody saw him. And you want the committee to believe who? Somebody who didn't see the person, as against somebody who saw the person? And you are saying that the committee chose to believe what they want to believe? They believe what the evidence directed them to believe. There was another person who also testified that there was indeed a family feud. There was to the extent that Kaka had to cause the arrest of his brother. Have you forgotten about that one too? Okay, so clearly the issue is in the courts. So I don't want to really go into the nitty-gritty. But it's also important that I go on this tangent. We've had a lot of people who speaks or criticizes the government in a very harsh way. And they are our friends. Indeed, majority of my political friends are from the NDC. Eric J is my brother. Okay? Suhini, when I see him, I respect him. He's my honorable. I saw him in Dallas Airport. Oh, I was so humbled to have seen my honorable. Ask him. I respect them.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be enemies.
Oh, I will say it.
Of course.
Fred Agbonyo came to New York recently, last week or so. He called me when you got to Times Square. Kofi, where are you? I want to see you. And these are people who criticize us strongly, harshly. They are conveners, they call themselves, face the country. And these individuals who are involved, they are our bodies.
Okay.
They've even helped us in our political life one way or the other.
Where are we going?
So the point I'm trying to establish is that nobody in this government will ever harm anybody or hurt anybody in any way that criticizes the government. No way. What we will do is to provide alternative facts. We will counter the fact. Where we are wrong, we will admit that we are wrong.
I've been insulted on many fronts without facts.
As for
insulted and sought to keep public scorn and ridicule on me.
I didn't want to mention you.
Yeah, mention me. I'm here.
Mention you.
I'm here to respond to it. So
you know. We have private conversations.
Yeah, we have private conversations.
But the point
when I say that this is a bottle of water and he say it is not, bring counter information.
That's exactly what we do. That's exactly what we do. So for anybody to suggest for anybody to suggest that's what we do.
I say me no. Me.
For anybody is that not what I did to you?
No, you were younger, brother.
So for anybody to suggest that he died because of that, for me it's unfortunate.
I hear you.
For anybody to suggest that. So what I take from this particular committee, they've done a very good job, frankly.
Let me bring this in for you. Upon further questioning, I'm reading from page 16 of 55. Upon further questioning, the DCOP admitted that the police did not envisage the situation would degenerate into such violence as it did. He said that any time such incidents occurred, the military were called in. There was usually calm restored. But this time he said the police miscalculated and he took responsibility for that. That's the deputy regional commander. He added that the police assumed wrongly, but that the presence of the military would deter the youth. He also admitted that the police did not have crowd control equipment like tear gas, route shields, and others on them at the time of the incident at Ijrap. He stated that bringing in the military was in tune with their police ethics and standards, where they had to use gradual, differentiated force to calm a situation or curl a route. He, however, admitted that the coordination, blah, 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 was not done professionally and all of that. So clearly, it shows here that our police,
of course,
do not have equipment.
Oh, not that they do
but we
not
keep
have,
saying we have retooled them.
Oh, no, not that they don't have equipment. They do have, but they are not sufficient. Everybody admits that the accoutrements, the tools that the police needs to do its work, it's not enough. So government continue to make provisions for that. But you see, in all these incompetence that were exhibited and the unfortunate issues that we saw that could have been avoided, there is this very critical issue we are all trying to avoid. I don't know
which one
because of convenience. The people who incited the people in Nigeria, that Kaka died because of his social media activism or this political activity. The people who said Kaka had died because of what he was doing on social media. For that matter, the youth there rose up and did what they did. Why are you forgetting about these people who incited? Do you know the power that social media carries?
Who are they?
And do you want me to remind you those who wrote on social media that Kaka died because of his political activism on social media? You don't need me to remind you that. No, the convener, this guy called, I don't even, Baker, even my own very friend.
He was a member of their.
And
they were speaking.
Let's not go there. What's the point? What is the proof that he's a member? Do we have any registration that suggests somebody's a member?
There are actually posts of Kaka himself, identifying himself. They are still on social media. Identifying himself.
What would somebody says I'm a Face the Country member? Everybody is a member of the Face the Country. You don't know that? I'm a member of the Face the Country.
You are?
You are a member of the Face the Country.
I thought you are a member of the Fixing the Country.
No, I'm a member of the Face the Country because I want this country to be fixed.
Okay.
I want things to be done in a manner which I've seen in other places. I want it to be done. Why don't you want your roads to be fixed?
So if you can agree that you are a member of the Fix the Country, why can't Kaka be a member of the Fix the Country?
And I'm telling you, every member, every citizen of this country, including even the president. Why? When the president was coming, especially in 2016, what was he saying? That I'm come to make Ghana better. I'm bringing change. What's the meaning of that?
Differentiation, especially in training.
What's the meaning of that?
Come to learn that.
What's the meaning of that? The meaning is that I am coming to fix things. When the NDC wants to come back to power, God forbid they will ever come. What are they come to do? They are saying they want to come and do things better. It's not part. Is it because the semantics or the rhetoric have changed? We all want the country to be fixed. So everybody is a member. Unfortunately, no clarification. You just went ahead with that he died because of that. And I would respectfully ask you not to do that. It's not fair, especially when there's no evidence, when there's no proof, when there's nothing that suggests that's why he died.
Just a quick one, Johnny. Just under 1 minute. You see, first of all, Kofi must understand that I have not said on this platform that he died because of his activism. What I have consistently said is that you cannot delink.
His activism.
You cannot delink. You cannot say his activism.
But how
the death. You cannot say the death was not associated with his activism. That's what I've said consistently. Listen to me carefully.
But John, why are you asking him to prove it? You asked me to prove something to you. Ask him to prove it. Please ask him.
And this is backed. This is backed by, the fact that he shared threats with his wife and shared threats with his group members, Baker and Co. So it becomes difficult that even if, you see, in a serious jurisdiction, even if there is palpable evidence that someone saw another person killing him, because of these threats, due to his activism, the investigation will not exclude the fact that people who do not like his activism may be using that person. I'm just painting a scenario. So you cannot delink his activism from the murder until investigations establish that.
After the committee listened to all the testimonies, they came to the conclusion that that link which you seek to put there is not there.
And I have said, you see, when I was beginning my submission, I said that from day one, even before the committee was set up, and it was further promoted by the committee, there has been this unholy determination by government and its officiandos to push a certain narrative against the possible linkage of his death to his activism.
Let me link to
and so I am not surprised that the committee will come out of this. And when my brother says that, yes, they have people who criticize them strongly and they have not been threatened, that is the reason why you should not be pushing the wrong narrative. Get to the ground. I kept using the word overzealous. You may have some overzealous people, in that local community who took his activism personal and decided to deal with him in the way that they did. Get to the ground, get those people, and let them understand that our politics is not done like that.
You are changing your position.
Cookie is ready.
But when you try to cover up, you make us feel that you are part of it.
Okay, please hold your fire.
You are part of the agenda.
You are changing.
Hold your fire for just 2 minutes.
You are part of it. You are part of us now.
Yes, I am. Apology accepted. Now, Daniel from Abeka says, according to eyewitnesses around Kaka's house, they saw 2 sticks that were used in assaulting Kaka. Is the investigative committee saying that Kaka's brother used the 2 sticks to assault Kaka alone? Walanyo in Akotia is saying, Johnny, this culture of abandoning government projects anytime there's a change of government is not helping at all. Every time I see them, I feel very scandalized. Regards to the Eastern Regional Chairman of the MPP. Why is NDC making noise about uncompleted projects? In Ho, we have a library complex and a toilet facility started by Kufuor, which was 80% complete by the time he was leaving office. Mahama could not complete it in 8 years, and that's the stronghold of the NDC. Why are they not projecting this one? Johnny Efo from Ho sent in that one. Good morning. It's a shame on assassination to abandon hospital projects which were completed by former President Mahama. In fact, Akufo-Addo's government must sit up and cut down the frivolous expenses on travels. President Akufo-Addo, after 9 months of consultation, is still experiencing rejection for some of his MMDCEs. This shows his level of incompetence and visionlessness. No wonder he would prioritize the building of a cathedral over a hospital. Stephen from Kwabenya sent in that one. Prince Henry from Koforidua says, as we speak now, that Betifi Hospital in the Eastern region, started by John Mahama, has been left to rot. Same as the Wa Hospital that was completed. Saglemi Housing Project is also left to rot. Our tax is being wasted for nothing, all because of cheap politics. Mr. MPP, I do not think you live with us in this country, which is progressively running backwards. Do not change your stance if you find yourself one day in opposition. God be with those who speak truth from their heart and punish those who see blue and say red in the name of serving a party. Richard Ameku sent in that one. Now, last one says, Honorable Sweeney is acting like the Takrady fake pregnant woman's husband. He still doesn't want to accept that Kaka's death is not related to his activism. It's rather unfortunate Kaka cannot confess like the Takrady woman did. R.I.P. to Kaka. May the Almighty Allah grant him rest. Baba Zamo, master planner from Kintampo, sent in that one.
Thank you very much, Cookie. I'll wrap up on this one for me. So paragraph 6 of the recommendation says we further recommend the training of RegSec, MUSEC, and DISEC officials in the Ashanti region in conflict and crisis management at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College at least once every year. I don't know why they're restricting it to just the Ashanti region. But I'm asking this because I have a point of interest in who becomes MCE or DCE. Johnny. Because they had the security councils at the local level. What we saw Salisu Bamba do, abandoning everybody else, and the committee said they lacked leadership, there was a political vacuum that was created. I have had occasion to see some of the candidates that have been put forward after 9 months to become MCE and DCE. And when they start speaking, you ask yourself, so this man, can he take a bold political or security decision when push comes to shove? Is this the best we could get after 9 months?
You see, Johnny, I know how critical you want to be on the MCE. But sometimes these things are necessary. That reminds me of what happened in Afghanistan when the Taliban took over. You know what the president of Afghanistan did? He fled. Sometimes, because when you look at the videos that were submitted by one of the witnesses, is it Akwiba? The name, I can't recall it. He suggested in the video that it was the MCE who was behind the killing.
Right.
So I think that made him think that if I stay here, it will be more chaotic. But of course, he's a leader. Probably he could have done something better. He couldn't. That is why it has been recommended that he should be removed. I have faith in the people that have been chosen or appointed or nominated by the president, that they will do a good job. It's their duty, national duty to ensure that once they've been accepted or approved, they need to do the job to the satisfaction of the people in their district, municipality, or metropolitan. So, again, let me conclude by saying that what happened in Nigeria is extremely unfortunate. The committee made a recommendation, which I think we should emphasize that there should be some social activities, like in Nigeria, for the youth there to be doing. Otherwise, when anything comes up, they will just be armed in arms and be doing some of these things. That has resulted in the death of 2 or 3 people and the injury of others.
I hear you. So take a 1-minute bite on this matter I raised. Who gets your MUSEC and your DISEC and the quality of the people that are put forward?
Important. I mean, I'm not one who equates fluency with intelligence, but
I will do that as well.
Yes, I think that it is important for one to be able to comprehend. Comprehension is key. To be able to read and comprehend, especially at the local level, and also articulate in a way that those who are listening to him will understand. Because communication is a huge part of leadership. You need to communicate to be understood before people will follow you. And so if we have this kind of nominees that we are seeing, it is quite worrying, especially Johnny, when it has taken us 9 months. It is simply unpardonable for a government that is continuing to take 9 months to put in place the local government assembly. Because you see, the bedrock of our democracy, especially when it comes to the catalyst required for development, is the local, is the assembly, is the local assembly. That is where most of our community developments are discussed and implemented. And so it is unpardonable for a government to take almost a year to put that in place, especially when it is not a new government. So I blame the appointing authority for taking this long and for, in the end, even presenting us with the quality that we have.
Well,
they have not even started.
I see. Kofi Ameyao is a member of the NPP's National Communications team. Thank you, Kofi, for coming.
Thank you, John.
And also, Alasan Suhini is the member of Parliament for the Tamale North constituency. Today, La Dadekotopom Municipal Assembly, Okankwe North Municipal Assembly, and Ayawaso West Municipal Assembly would go at it for their confirmation of their nominees. 10 a.m., 12, and 2. All of them will have to do that in the Greater Accra region. This is from the Regional Coordinating Council. So if you are part of these assemblies, Ladade Kutupo, Kankwe North, and Ayawaso West, get there and make a firm decision. We'll see you after the break. I am interested in who takes my property rate, my business operation permit, my market tools, and I want the person's head to be screwed on properly because development is at the grassroots. See you after the break.